Good morning, my people. Welcome. It's Saturday. Last week, I tried to give you guys a date and I gave a wrong date. So let me be sure that I'm actually saying the right date. Today is September the 26th of 2020, and the time here in Houston is 8:36. My name is Mona Sagana. I'm here with my sisters who will be introducing themselves shortly. So welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Sisters, please go ahead.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Augusta Osike, and we are so glad to have you on today. We have a lot to discuss, and it's all about our freedom. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sister.
Good morning, viewers. We appreciate your coming here today. My name is Eputa Simon Okube. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to ask you this morning, what's the essence of your life as a Black and brown man or woman? What's the worth of your life? Why were you created? Why were you made? Is it just to fill up the space and prevent the earth from tilting? If you believe that your life is worth more than mere existence, then this talk show is for you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, sister. All right. So we have our topic today, which we've shared was since Wednesday. Our topic today, yes, it's always on our platform. We try to post this topic by Wednesday of every week, no more than Thursdays. So it will be on our platform. But the topic today is satisfying the first fundamental of the United Nations instrument on the right to self-determination, satisfying the first fundamental of the UN instrument on the right to self-determination. Again, we have our information on our website. So given the death threat hanging over our heads, and when I say that, I mean we, the Nigerians, taking down the imposed Decree 24, or should we call it the 1999 Nigerian Military Constitution, it has become our collective urgent effort to take down that accomplished, or should I say unaccomplished constitution in a timely manner. So we know that the LNC and MNN alliance partners, they have this proposed constitutional force majeure to end the unitary union of debt, attrition, and backwardness imposed on us by this apartheid constitution in order to free the entrapped constituent component and move us to a fresh post-Nigeria among only willing and compatible units who hold life sacrosanct and who believe that all men are created equal. So with this first constitutional majeure, it's an excellent opportunity for all well-meaning and sincere citizens of these various nations to test true freedom and liberty. So as we prepare for the inevitable reconfiguration of the non-functioning Federation of Nigeria, which actually we know that collapsed since 1996, there is a need for us to understand how we got here. So we have videos from our brother, Chief Nayawodo, and also Professor Akintoye. So I am going to play the video to start off. Just to give you guys an idea, this video has been out in public for a while. Many of you may have seen it, but this is an opportunity to take a look, just to refresh our memory that it's not today that we've been lamenting about what's going on in Nigeria.
The democratic system we run in our country rests on three arms of government. Of these three arms, the other two function in accordance with laws made by this arm. This arm characterizes democracy because in a military government, you would have both the judiciary and the executive. But it is only in a democratic government that you have a parliament. The parliament is a microcosm of the people because every section of the country has by adult suffrage delegated its voice to this parliament. So we believe that by visiting you today, we are coming to speak to the conscience of our country. We ask that this discussion today be as frank as possible, because in situations like this, unless the National Assembly rises like one man with a conscience, a commitment, and a patriotism to unveil the facade of partisan politics and partisan advantages and face the real issues of the nation, will stand on the edge of a precipice. We have come to you, sir, at a time when our economic stability is in serious danger. Today, our international debt is extremely high, perhaps one of the highest judged by the IMF for countries without GDP. Our domestic debt is high and growing by the day. Our subsidy indebtedness is something that has defied solution and transparency in disclosure. Our youth despair is gargantuan. The federating units in this country, in the unitary system that we call a federal government, are surviving with great difficulty. The federal government has made bailouts just to sustain recurrent expenditure of our state governments. Many of the important units of great growth in our country, namely industrial concerns, are either not producing at all or producing short of installed capacity. Job creation is low. Despondency stares us in the face. Political instabilities have compounded this, Mr. President. At no time except during the Nigerian Civil War have people been killed in the rate in which they are being killed today in Nigeria. In 1 year, we've recorded more than 1,000 killings. What is surprising is that these killings are not matched with equal reaction by the security forces in our country. There is a resultant lack of confidence in the institutions of government, especially the institutions that are responsible for law and order. Our courts speak from two sides of the mouth. Our Chief Justice said that corruption in the judiciary is not only ingratiation of judicial officers, but deviation from the rules of engagement by judges, by making pronouncements that are completely out of pattern in the exercise of dispensation of justice. We have had, today in Nigeria, our courts make proclamations that whether you commit crime or not, you may not be arrested or even prosecuted. It is unprecedented in any democracy. Mr. President, distinguished senators, we have come as elders. We have come as fathers. We have come as heads of different socio-cultural organizations of this country who look up to us for leadership to speak in moments of this nature. We have looked at the problem of our country and we think that it is soluble, but we think that there is lack of will. We have come to ginger you to develop that will and to seek a consensus of the leadership of the National Assembly and of the political class who have the necessary legislative empowerment by our Constitution to make decisions that can reverse our situation.
All right, that's enough of that. And this is the second part that I'm going to play from Professor Akintoye.
Hello and welcome. The 1914 amalgamation of the Northern and Southern protectorates has over time been scrutinized and criticized by aggrieved ethnic groups and political observers in Nigeria as a marriage of unwilling partners. Of course, this followed agitations over reports of marginalization and underdevelopment of the regions of those criticizing or the agitators. Now, successive governments have gone through phases of national conferences and dialogue to seek and promote a united Nigeria. Still, the issues remain and even reoccur. On Fireworks today, we'll revisit them as we set them against the nation's current realities and the popular calls for restructuring. Welcome to Fireworks on TBC. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. My guest on the program today is the president of the Yoruba World Congress, Professor Banji Akintoye. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The most ideal place to start will be the mood of the polity, of course, with rising insecurity, the current rise in fuel price, and of course the rise in the price of electricity tariff. So what would your immediate reaction be, to these developments?
Yes, you've mentioned current challenges, rising electricity prices, rising food prices, the fall in the value of the naira, etc., etc. Those are the surface only. Deeper is that the country itself is retrogressing fearfully in very many directions. And people who watch the world are frightened by the picture of Nigeria today. Nigeria is the home of extreme poverty in the world, the number one home of extreme poverty in the world. Pundits who study the economy of the world are saying that in another 20 years from now, in another 10 years from now, by 2030, more than 50% of all the poorest people in the world will be Nigerians. If things go on this way, it's a horrifying prospect. Yeah, that's the way we have brought ourselves. It need not have been like this. We started with a country with a great deal of resources, which is why the British have zeroed in on Nigeria, particularly in Africa. It is the reason for the amalgamation itself, because the British saw that this is a country with a great deal of resources, and that can be developed. The British will gain from it, but we ourselves will also gain from it. It has not exactly worked like that. We have earned a lot of money from our resources, from originally our farm produce, like palm oil, palm kernels, cocoa especially. We were one of the largest cocoa producers in the world for some time, and that brought a lot of money to Nigeria. We were, for some time, the largest producer, exporter of groundnut in the world, and so on. But we have destroyed everything. Now we are not seriously regarded as a major cocoa exporter in the world. We are no longer a groundnut exporting country. The groundnut industry has perished. We are no longer seriously a palm oil producing or palm kernel exporting country in the world. Yes, we see earn a lot of money from mineral oil, from petroleum, but the assets are declining very fearfully. And in any case, when you do a check of, we have not very little to show for the huge amount of money that we have earned from oil. We have created the most fearfully corrupt, most resolutely corrupt country on earth. And the world is wondering, can a country that has brought itself this far low ever be able to raise itself back up again? And with most people, the answer is no.
But rarely, your words are extreme, horrid, terrifying, the most corrupt, destruction of agricultural potential. But aren't the efforts of government get towards salvaging the situation itself? For example, the closure of the borders. And the likes, the ban on the importation of certain food crops that can be grown at home, cosmetics. And the efforts to stabilize the value of the naira against the dollar.
Those are cosmetics. We have now arrived at a point at which we are the most violent country on earth in terms of when there is no war. In peacetime, the most violent country on earth. Now, every day sometimes one fears to open the papers in the morning or to watch television before going to bed. Because what we are going to be seeing stories of marauders, bandits going around and killing people and destroying property and so on and so forth. That's what we have become in Nigeria. We have become a country in which there is going on now a war of all against all. It is terrifying. I grew up in this country.
All right. So we just want to, give you guys some insight as to how bad this country called Nigeria has deteriorated. And that is the reason why we are here every day talking to you guys about what we need to do in order to get out of this so-called marriage or apartheid constitution. Our elderly, Wodo and Akintoye, we posted the video on our platform. So if you want to watch it in its entirety, you can go on there and watch those videos. But this is just to point fingers as to where this problem has landed us. So to continue on this topic, I'll have Sister Ilpi to take over.
Thank you very much, my sister. Yes, you're right. Because sometimes when we say some of these things, people say, I think that we just came up as women and we feel like talking. No. It's for you to know that, especially the young ones that are coming up with different solutions. Some say do this, some say this. We are showing you that our elders that have been part of the system before you were born have tried everything. We showed you our father from Southeast, Nyanwodo. We showed you our father from Southwest. So the entire South is tired. We can see in the video clips that all that needed to be done to save Nigeria has been done. You're not going to reinvent the wheel. There's nothing new that you want to do except to make us go in circles, trying some things that come up from your mind. Everything has been tried. There's nothing that is left. Everything. All that is going on is that we keep dying. That's all. So we are appealing to all these our people that are still living in denial. Please, can you stop wasting our precious time? Because there's nothing that has not been tried. We have even given our blood, but it's still not enough. Those that are hoping to perform magic, please, can you stop delaying our collective destiny?
Those running 2023 election.
Exactly.
Election.
We need to call their names out. Those that are distressing us further. We need to call names out.
Yeah, it's all these politicians and their supporters.
Yeah.
The politicians are like P2B, all these people running up and down. We entering a partnership with Northerners so that they can save their businesses. And there's some of their little boys that have promised 1 million or 2 million. They're the ones. Not the people dying. The people dying want out. But the people gaining something from our pains.
Our blood.
Something from our blood. They are not allowing us to discuss what will make us to move forward. And honestly, at this point, we should be discussing how to catch up with the rest of the world. We're not even going to be keep discussing, are we going to continue in these circles? At this point in time, we should be saying, what do we do to catch up with the rest of the world? we need to be asking ourselves, how do we make up for over 100 years that we have lost, that we have wasted? How do we make up for it? Because like Sister Amona said, the fresh nations, fresh protocols that will come, each unit will be running on their own, trying to catch up. We have lost over 100 years. Those of you that are in love with the name Call One Nigeria, can you please have mercy upon us? Some of you keep doing useless live shows that you want to support One Nigeria. Are you not seeing us dying? Our forefathers are saying it. Those that are dead, they said it. Those that are alive are still saying it. That it cannot work. The arrangement we have in Nigeria, the constitutional arrangement we have, cannot give us a viable nation. Are you this daft? Can't you reason? Can't you see? The foundation is wrong. It is time to bring down this apartheid constitution so that everybody that is entrapped in this unproductive union can move on. Can move on. Thank you.
Unproductive indeed. Mr. Augusta, please go ahead.
Thanks so much, Sister Mona, Sister Ekwe. Yeah, the purpose of today's broadcast is to make our people have a better understanding of where the NNC and the MNN grant propositions and models, which clearly show the geographical formation in which the post-unitary arrangement of the distressed Federation of Nigeria are being discussed. So especially as it concerns the model by which the heterogeneous mean like some of that are, have multiple languages, like the Lower Niger and the Middle Belt territories. We've been saying that we have multiple languages in Middle Belt. I don't know how many languages that they have there. So the truth about it is that we have to show concerns for these two regions, especially. And it's being brought to cohesive political unions away from the British or Caliphate imposed boundaries or the decreed states and geographical form. So this cohesion satisfies one of the fundamentals of the United Nations Instrument for Nations Seeking Self-Determination or Independence. We've talked about this when we discussed the UNDRIP 2007, saying that there has to be cohesion between your neighbors. You have to come together to want this self-determination. So that's for it now. Sister Muna, go ahead with the third video.
Across the United States, and you are having town hall meetings with several people. Who are the people coming to the town hall meetings, and what are you telling them?
Well, the town hall meetings are being held with the diaspora population, the U.S. diaspora of the Lower Niger. If you focus a little here, for the purpose of illustration and expression, this is Nigeria along its natural fault lines, and the parts here, which they now call the South and Southeast geopolitical zone. For the purpose of what we are doing now, I'm sure you saw the Ansari video in which he was talking about the futility of going for Niger Delta Republic or the Biafra that looks like an Igbo, and he says, unless the peoples of the territory find some way to integrate themselves into one block to look for answers to the many questions hanging over them, it will be journey to nowhere. And so the organization I am secretary to is called the Lower Niger Congress. The territory, the Lower Niger, is the combination of this old Midwestern region and the old Eastern region. And if you take a zoom, you will see the map we have here. That's just the territory, that combination of the two. But the difference here is that we're not inviting them as people from River State or Abia State or Edo State. We're inviting them as Ijo, Igbo, Anam, Efik, Ishekiri, as you see in the map here. And what we're telling them is, look, that the constitution of Nigeria is heading irreversibly to a major reconstruction. And that if we go back to this map, that the 12 states that, let's use this, that the 12 contiguous states here that passed Sharia almost simultaneously in year 2000, our contention is that they had seceded from the secular union we thought we were building with them. And at the time the Constitution of Nigeria is being disputed as a fraud. You remember we went to court in 2007. At the time we had done pro-NACO to create a new consensus. You know, we went to try to ease, we went to court to set in motion a process by which that fraudulent constitution will be eased out, like the apartheid constitution was eased out in 1990 to 94 from South Africa. And what the situation represented is that if in the midst of that kind of a debate, 12 contiguous states simultaneously impose Sharia, which is expressly forbidden by the constitution, we thought we had to, rework in some way. Our joint contention is that, and when I say our here, I mean the contention of the rest of the country, is that these 12 states had seceded from that point from the union. And we didn't want to keep the constitution that was already being disputed everywhere as the basis of the balance of the union. And so in 2011, we had under the aegis of the Movement for New Nigeria, which I also happen to be co-convener. What is Movement for New Nigeria? The cooperation platform of these three blocks, the Lower Niger, the Middle Belt, and the Yoruba Southwest, just to take care of the rest of Nigeria, so that we don't, in running away from Nigeria, become Somalia. We began to talk amongst ourselves to say in which formations are we willing to carry on post-Nigeria, because the Nigeria that our fathers negotiated in Lancaster House.
All right, so that is the end of that video there.